JTMM.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy JTMM, aka Just 10 More Minutes, aka The Freaking 10. Back with another song, and this time I'm back with another Vintersea song. This one is called Befallen. It was suggested by the band who had reached out in the comments and given me kind of a couple of songs to check out. So I'm very curious to see where this one goes. I've enjoyed their music quite a bit. Crack a Light was just phenomenal. If y'all haven't watched that video, go check it out. What I really liked about it is the story behind it. The music and the lyrics were great, but I think they were enhanced even more by the visuals. And so out on Twitter, I posted the story of how they made the boat that they were dragging, and just everybody chipping in and not being confined by a rule of quarantine to say, we can't do anything. Let's figure out what we can do within the limits that have been put on us in order to be successful. And they did it, and they did it damn well. Um, I'm extremely impressed with that because as an independent artist, you don't get many shots to hit the top. You truly have to grind. If you think about how many bands are out there and trying to separate yourself um, from the rest of the pack, it's not an easy thing to do. And when you look in other genres, and I point out Tom McDonald quite a bit, because if you've watched Tom McDonald, which the majority probably haven't, because he is an independent rapper, but I happen to love his lyrics and the stories and the messages he sends. But if you take a look at the work ethic that he does, he builds all of his sets. His girlfriend shoots all of his videos, right? He doesn't have a label behind him to do all this stuff. He does it himself. And if you go check out his stuff from that standpoint, and you listen to not only the messages, but you look at the sets and the visuals, and you realize that really it's a two-person team, that's what it takes to succeed these days, to set yourself apart from the rest of the pack. So to see within this genre, Vintersea do this, that's why I rock with them, right? And at this point, I do. And it's not because they commented, it's because I see the story of the work ethic that they have to succeed. That attracts me to it and makes me want to explore it more, because that's what makes you successful in this world. If you have that drive, that determination, that passion, you'll succeed at whatever level, whatever your goals are, you will achieve those. You can have look at football players, and I know I'm diverging from it, but I want this to be very, very pointed. If you take a look at the NFL, MLB, NBA, you see these guys with all the talent in the world. But because everything's been frickin' handed to them throughout their careers because they're the best and they sign these $1 million contracts because they're the best, how many of them bust? Go look at the NFL draft. How many of those guys are still playing? They go reach the pinnacle, they get this money, they think it's the best, and then they lose the love, right? That's why I don't watch any of that crap, because they're a bunch of overpaid babies who care nothing, and they want to go put their message out and act like they're the all greatest. No. They are humans who are not gods. Okay? Now, when I see bands like this, and whether it's bands like Ginger and Spirit Box and Unleash the Archers and Vintersea, that within the confines of what they can do, they go out and they're themselves, and they go rock it, and they put in the work, they put in the grind, and you see this in their stories. I'll rock with them all day. Work ethic goes a long way with me. So that's 5 minutes of me ranting. I'll apologize, but I wanted to get that point across because that to me is a very, very important piece of this, which tells me just how successful they'll be, and hopefully as things start to open up, they can make their journey even greater. So I will rock with them and continue to rock with them. I need to go look for merch for them, by the way. All right. Enough. Let me switch it up. All right. As always, I want to thank you for your support. I woke up this morning looking at it and saw we had jumped from 27,000 view to 31,000. Now, that has nothing to do with monetization, but it tells me that I'm putting out content that people want to watch. That's what I want to do. Nobody's watching. I'm not going to post anything. That's just the way it goes. You have to change your product. But y'all are watching. Y'all are supporting. I'm going to continue doing it. All right. Got the lyrics. I got the video. I got everything set up. Let's rock. Hey, you didn't even let me say nice scenery. I like that jump in. That was a cool shot. Stop there because I know it's probably going to carry very quickly, but I wanted to go back to the beginning, kind of look at some of these lyrics. First of all, I really like the shot. Now that looked like a nuclear plant, and I've been to the Northwest. I love it up there. The scenery looked like Washington, but I'm not sure. I didn't know they had any plants up there, but I'm not totally familiar. We have family up there. But I love the scenery. I love the way that it's shot in that film, where you kind of get that. I don't even know what they would call it, but you got kind of that. You can kind of see the black flowing through it. I forget what it's called, but that's brilliant. It looks really cool. It gives it a darkness, right? A lot of these shots are dark and gloomy, and it's giving that dark and gloomy feel. And then when you get into the lyrics, fire burns upon the earth. One broken nation under the sun, all of our hope has come undone. Now, you could take that in so many different ways. I mean, to me, when you look at the U.S., right, and it doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, right? Our country as a whole, it has become broken under the sun. And a lot of the hope has come undone for a lot of people. And now I think this was 2019. If I saw on the description, I mean, it really has, and Death befallen on the spawn, their naked hearts will carry on. And then they get into we were built into the eye of desecration. Our feeble minds will crumble at the end of the day. The the weak among us will be splintered from our stasis. Our hollow roots will decay. Again, these are ones that you could really take a lot of ways. I mean, I go back to the broken nation. And really, the weak among us will be splintered from our stasis, right? I mean, we have a lot of civil strife going on right now. And there are a lot of what you could call weak-minded people that will be splintered. And then our hollow roots will decay. Man, that's a deep one, because you could take that so many ways. Are you talking about the roots of the country, right? And were they hollow? And when the country was founded, was it built off of, quote, hollow intentions? You could look at it that way. Again, this is analysis that could go on forever. And I know because, and I'm not going to say your name because I'll butcher it. But, you know, the lead singer from the band reached out and said that she put out a fake Facebook post that where she goes in and describes all of the songs and their meanings. I don't go back and watch those until after I've probably reviewed all of them, because I don't want it in my mind of what the song's actually about. I want to kind of interpret it and then go back and see what you meant by it. And that gives me kind of the psychological piece of how a human being can look at the world a different way and read a phrase of words and see something totally different. So that's what I love about music. That's what I love about lyrics. That's why I started the channel. So I'll be very curious to see. I'm probably way off basis, but that's kind of where I'm interpreting so far, and I'm loving it. Let's go back. Actually, I did go back a little bit. Let's go. I like how you're switching on it. I love it. Okay, before I give my thoughts and switch it back, for the sick, for the broken, we carry on. For the voiceless, without a name, a wretched shame. Here comes the rest of all of our lives. We'll forge our path with no more lies. We are the spirit manifest. Undying will burns in our chest. Come to me, relinquish everything. I'd really like to know the come to me, relinquish everything, and who. But what I really like is that for the sick, for the broken, we carry on. For the voiceless without a name, our wretched shame. Here comes the rest of all of our lives. We forge our path with no more lies. You could, and I apologize, I'm dealing with kind of a neck and a shoulder muscle pull. You could apply this to many different things. Again, you know, when you think about the country is broken and here comes the rest of our lives, we'll forge our path with no more lies, right? Of let's look at the truth and let's carry on. I mean, you could really look at this. I saw the nuclear plant. You could really look at it, I mean, something as much as like Chernobyl. I mean, if you really look at the lyrics, you really could. But I dig this song. I like the switch ups to where you had that lower, I'll call it a growl for conversation's sake, and then you switched it up to a higher pitch. I really like that. And I will say, for everybody watching this, and I'm already 15 minutes in on a 5-minute song, but your natural singing voice, I think, is very underrated. The mix that y'all do with the harmonies, I think, is very underrated. I love those. I really love these lyrics. This is probably, I'll say, Crack of Light. I really like the visuals and I love the music. This is probably my favorite so far. Now, obviously, I'm only a couple songs in, so that'll probably change and I'll have another favorite. But right now, this one's my favorite. I really love the melody in this one. You know, you kind of did a what do they call it? A lot of the visuals look like maybe like I'm forgetting the name of the lens. Fisheye, I think is what it's called. Carl will kill me for that one because I'm not as up to par on the camera types, but I think that's what it's called. That was a cool effect, so you could see just how big that was, and that looked cold. I don't know when this was shot. I have to go back and check. But the way that the weather looked, it's the Northwest. It's a lot of times it's like that, but that looked very cold. So hats off to y'all. That's a cool video. I'm definitely interested to check out the rest of the stuff, and I'll do so. With that being said, guys, I have talked way too long on this one. I'm at the 18-minute mark. I apologize, but that's here what I do. I love each and every one of y'all. Always remember, my friends, always, always, always be yourself. Be happy. Just be you. That's all you got to do in this world to be happy is be yourself, and that's it. For everybody, I love all the support. Let's keep that like, subscribe, and share going. Let's keep the numbers climbing upward. Always remember, my friends, if someone asks you to stop what you're doing, don't ask for one, don't ask for two, and just don't ask for it. No. If somebody asks you to stop what you're doing, always ask for just 10 more minutes. Guys, I love each and every one of you. I am out of here.
JTMM.